Hello there, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friends. We are playing more Dead Space today. And it's maybe the last part, probably the last part. It's gotta be, because there's just not a lot left to do. You know what I mean? But I'm assuming there's gonna be some sort of boss, right? There's gotta be. Isaac? Right? What do you think it's gonna be? Monstro? You get it? I made a joke. Because Isaac is from... It's another game. You understand. It's funny, right? There's just a lot of items, and so it has to be something. And explosives. I mean, there's no coincidence about this. It's gotta be. Because they weren't here before. I would not have missed this. So, why would Kendra just be like, yes, I would like to set up 2 boxes right here, and this will confuse him. Isaac is very confused by boxes. And she's not wrong. But, I don't know. I do see the marker over there, so I'm a little... Oh, yes? Oh, you're really going for it, huh? Oh, hello. Eater, eater. Oh, you did it. Oh! Wait, hang on, those are my explosives. Oh, God. Thanks. Thank you, that's some justice right there. Do I have to murder you now? Okay. That's alright. After what you've done for me, I'm not that upset. You really helped me out. And I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative of that. Okay, I see the little damage points in your mouth. Is that your mouth? You're very pretty. And is that your little rib cage with the little wiggly fingers? It's very cute. Do you want... Whoops! Hello. Can you eat that? I missed. I've missed. It was a very large point to shoot at, and I missed it. Okay, alright. I'm just gonna go for it. I got bullets for days. Ah! Okay. I'm not good at dodging, so if you could just warn me. If you ever wanted me to, dodge something. That was quite a scream, I'm so sorry. Whoa! I'm so sorry for the screaming. I know I'm causing you pain. You did me nice. You did me justice. And if you just want to live here, I'll go. Just remove the tentacle arms and I'll go. What? Is this scripted? Is this supposed to happen? Please don't. Please, is this instant death? What's going on? Oh, okay. Okay, this is hard. Okay, alright. It's a little hard for Isaac to aim this sucker. He's got a lot of ammo though, so might as well just go for it. Okay, good. Okay, don't eat, do not eat. You can have the planet. I'll tell people not to come. I'll let them know this guy lives here. Just let him live here. There's no problem. Do you want the box? Because I grabbed it instead of the explosive. Eat explosive right in your belly. Did you like it? Did you digest it? Was it good? Whoop. Okay, you didn't like it. You dropped out, guys. I didn't want this. Whoop. Okay. Right. Sorry. Am I getting close or what? I'm just gonna keep going with this one. Okay, alright. Eat health. Isaac, eat health. Okay, what are you throwing at me? What is this? I'm jamming down the A. I'm jamming it down. What are you throwing at me and how do I dodge it? Open your belly. I've had enough of this. Just open it. Open it. I want to see inside. Oh, okay. Alright. That was a sick dodge, Isaac. I don't know how you pulled it off. You he's putting his whole body into it. It's just, I'll go, please. I don't think we need to murder each other here. There's no need for that. I don't want to be here. You don't want me to be here. We don't have to resort to violence there. We could just resort to friendship. I don't see any problems with that. We'll be friends. And not murder. Not murder friends. Oh, you just sound so sad when I hit you. I'm living so far, so I assume I'm doing okay. I'm just sidestepping. Because I assume the tentacle can't hit all the way on its opposite side. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it's important that I'm moving while tentacle moves. Okay, are you doing another phase? Or is it the same thing? Still tentacle? Oh, still tentacle. You got your tentacles. And they're just fine. You're really pretty. I don't mean to distract you. Oh, I'm distracting myself. You're just really pretty. Very gorgeous design. I was hoping for a twofer and I didn't get it. I don't know why I slowed you. I meant to heal or also reload maybe. But I probably ate a big one. I'm going the wrong way. It's fine. I'm going the wrong way again. I've messed myself up. Maybe it just matters that I'm moving. Okay, I did bad there. Because the thing is I need to be moving and not necessarily on the other side. So it's fine. But arguably it's good to get stun locked. Because it protects me from the next hit. Are you dead? This looks dead. I don't see any more weak points. Okay, okay. Alright. That's good. God, it's hard to think that that's like... Is it just a bunch of people melted in there? And is that the screams I'm hearing? Oh. Oh. Oh, God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. That doesn't feel good at all. It's no good when a boss is just... I don't know what it is about me or my mental state right now, but that guy it was kind of cute, right? There was something cute about him. He had like a little bit of a flowery look to him. Like the petals of flesh or something. I don't know. I don't know. Good job, Isaac. I swear if Nicole's in here, I'm gonna freak out. How'd you get past that locked door by just hitting it? Why haven't you been doing that the whole time? Love how we're just leaving the marker there, I guess. We're not putting it back on its little pedestal. This is what I wanted to do the whole time, is just plonk it down there and go. Oh. Was that...
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh, what? Hang on. What? Okay, no, alright. That's, So has he really lost it? It's just so weird seeing his face again. I gotta say, I've forgotten what his face looked like, and it's just, like, that's not... I don't know, the Isaac I know has the blue lines on his face of the helmet, and there's no other face to him. It's weird seeing it. Not that it's an unpleasant face, it's odd seeing it. Anyway, no, that's good. So it's okay, so we left and then like an asteroid hit the place we were just on, I guess, like right away? So was that the marker? But then Isaac's still losing it. I don't know why I'm surprised by this. I mean, there's a Little sequel we're gonna play, so it's not like the marker is demolished, and I guess its effects are still there? The question is, was that Isaac losing it? Or was that... I mean, what are the chances Nicole just somehow hid on that ship and then ambushed us as her necromorph self? That's not possible. We would have noticed a dead body, I imagine. Or maybe not, because we were losing it. God, that was a beautiful game. God, that was a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous game. The scariness was so effective. Especially just audio. The audio was just sick. The whispers that went on all the time, the sound effects, the combat noises, they all made me unsettled. It takes a good game to, like, even if you're in an empty room that you're pretty sure is empty, to make you still scared. Like, they even had vents all over the place, like, okay, no one's gonna come out of there. It's just, whoa. Effective at making me unnerved. All the time, and that's always a good horror game thing. And I'm looking forward to the next one, because I've got that ready to go whenever, and I could hop right in right after, or I could play something in the meantime. I don't know. I mean, I imagine if it, obviously it's gonna, I think Isaac is the main guy again. Pretty sure. His face is all over the place all the time with Dead Space, so I imagine he's the main guy. But again, it's not his face, it's the helmet, so I don't know. But if it's gonna continue on, like, the story and stuff, maybe it's best if it's fresh, but I don't know. I think I'll probably just hop in. It is super fun. And I'm, excited to see what, like, new guns are gonna be available, and, like, where we're gonna be. I imagine, like, is it just gonna be another ship? I have very little idea. It'd be cool to be on, like, another planet for a while, like we were here. And, exploring there. I'm very glad Kendra died. I was not expecting all of her limbs to pop off, but then I guess that's a standard when people die. In Dead Space, I mean, it's very cool. It's very cool. The body's ragdolling, and then all the little arms and legs popping off. It's gruesome, but very cool. Which, and the necromorphs obviously need a lot of flesh to transform into themselves or whatever. Anyway, no, it was justice. It was justice. It was very much justice to see her die like that. Especially after she basically got freaking Hammond killed. Miss Hammond. I hope we have more, like, good allies in the next game, Like, maybe friends that, like, actually do stuff. Maybe sometimes they, help out and don't just say, hey, Isaac, could you just here, like, real quick do everything? Not that I'm pissy about that. I know. The game would be very boring without that. I hope it didn't get lame that I kept saying that, because, I was only just joking. Obviously, we need things to do with the player, and we need player things to do. Anyway, I apologize. I wish I had more to say. I feel like this entire game I've been talking about how much I love it. And usually, when I finish a game, the credit screen is when I say, oh, this game's really great, and here's why. And I've kind of already said it a lot. The sound is so good, and the creature design's really cool too, the enemies. It makes it all the more horrible when you can hear the screaming. Because it is, like, actual people that make up the stuff. And that's pretty gruesome. But, I don't know why I expected Kendra to make it. I honestly thought at one point, like, I must have read a spoiler somewhere, because I swear there was something Kendra something. But then she was gone. She was definitely gone, so it's not a thing. It's good, it's good, it's good. It's good that she's gone, but I mean, there was the whole, like, opening of, like, why, like, she worked for some government or something and was gonna take the marker for something, like, they were testing on it on this planet. And so I guess that's gotta be, that's gotta be a thing for the sequel, huh? Like I don't know, what are they testing? Why would they want this? Yes? Yay, good. What? I can't read this. Oh! Sick. Backstory logs? 50,000 credits! 10 power nodes! Oh, there's another harder mode! Oh, I was patting myself on the back. It's fine. No, that's alright. Impossible mode. I mean, that's a potential someday. I don't know if, a military suit, I don't know if that's like a super good armor or something? Because I don't know if this is gonna be like, I know with, like Resident Evil games, you like, generally you beat it, and then you unlock, like, the ability to get, like, the god weapons, and kind of go through the game with super sick stuff. And, I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. It would make Impossible mode kind of fun, but I imagine not because it's called Impossible. It's fine. Whatever the case. Anyway, what is backstory logs? Oh, I'll save, yeah. Save your game and load it again to play another round with all of your equipment. Oh, that's kind of cool. Sure, why not? What is, is it in options? What is it? It said, like, backlogs or something. What was it? I don't remember. If I just continue, is it in there? Alright, friends. I've been looking it up, and I think from what they say, it doesn't mark the new logs, but they're at the end of Chapter 12's logs. Because I think Nicole's Farewell is something we watched. I think any of the audio we've probably I was gonna say read. We've listened to, yeah? Because Restore Power... Yeah, that's just more of what we were doing at the time. So I'm assuming all the text logs, then, at the bottom are, the stuff we just unlocked. Because I don't remember having a lot of reading to do in Chapter 12. But if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. Unitology Exposed. Excerpts from the False Messiah. A book banned on Earth in most colonies. A religion is born. When Michael Altman went public with his research on the black marker. Wait, the black marker? The world was teetering on the brink of self-destruction. It's a little concerning, because what I saw was definitely red. Okay. Maybe it's like activated or something? I don't know. The world was teetering on the brink of self-destruction. Many people, myself included, felt civilization was at an end. We couldn't change the world by ourselves, and most of us didn't want to. What Altman offered us, this chance at a rebirth for humanity, was exactly what our hungry, empty souls were looking for. Practically overnight, our hope for humanity was renewed. Millions flocked to his conferences to hear him profess to know a way to a new beginning. We stared in awe at the evidence of the alien artifact that would have changed everything, and we did whatever he told us to. We rallied against the government, we joined together in congregations to share his word, and we prepared ourselves for the future he said was coming. Where were you when Michael Altman was assassinated by our government? It's the question of our generation, I suppose. It's certainly the day when everything changed for me and the world. The martyring of the scientist-turned-savior Michael Altman begat fanatical zealots, and I was one of them. We birthed and maintained the tenements of a new religion, known now as the Church of Unitology. I was only a follower, but I was suddenly part of the biggest social movement in history. The riots that followed and the crippling of our government made us realize we finally had the power to change things. I didn't know what begat meant. I feel like I know it. I just sort of initiated, sort of? I don't know. It's just interesting that this person writing it kind of self-claims to be a fanatical zealot, you know? No one knows what is contained in the black marker. Some claim it contains a genetic string that grants immortality through gene therapy. Others say it contains the DNA of an alien life form. Even Altman confessed to not knowing exactly what it is for. That's concerning. I mean, why start this whole, like, religion for this weird rock spiral thing? But that does say, I guess, the black is, like, it was dormant, maybe? And then when it turned red, it's like, here we go. I didn't even realize that I had Hammond in the background there. I love it. It was so nice seeing the first starting cutscene again. All my friends again. Well, my one friend, and then the two people that died, and then Kendra. Love you, Hammond. The marker has been used to form the basic doctrines of the Church. As claimed in the popular book, death is only the beginning. Humans will learn that by death of their worldly spirit, they will be reborn in unity as a stronger, unending community. Unity is forever. Death is an important event in the journey of a unitologist and seen as a necessary step to being reborn. The body is considered holy, and it may not be cremated or be allowed to decay in the ground. The bodies are given to the Church for safekeeping. Where they are taken is unknown, but I have seen massive unitology compounds on all of the major settlements I have visited. Curious, I asked around. No one would tell me what was housed inside, but I uncovered evidence of massive shipments of preservative chemicals being sent to the compounds on a regular basis. I'm confused and concerned that this person is, like, again, self-professed as a zealot and very devoted to this religion that they're in, but they're like, yeah, I don't know, we just die and, like, they just take our bodies and that's it, like, whatever. I don't know what happened. Like, what? How do you not know what happens? And it's like, oh yeah, there's this big rock thing, and that's cool. I don't know what it does. Nobody does. Even the guy who made the thing is just like, why? Yeah, I don't know. What? It was around this time that my superior, Paragon Fontenay, brought me in for my first soul cleansing. Despite the headaches and the nausea that continue to plague me, I managed to sneak into the shipyard. I'd almost regained full function of my legs, and was able to make it into what appeared to be the nerve center of the operation. What I discovered were ships. Massive ships, and lots of them. Stasis storage tubes lined each of the hundreds of exposed cargo bays. I couldn't see any of the bodies, but I knew what the tubes were for. What I couldn't figure out was why the Church needed to transport so many suspended bodies in what looked like deep space vessels. Before I could investigate further, I was recaptured, and the real soul cleansings began. I mean, at least this person is obviously speaking in, like, the past tense, so they're fine. The soul cleansing didn't, like, wipe their mind, I guess. And it might explain why they were, like, a self-professed, you know, zealot for this religion, or cult or whatever, but I guess they thought better of it, maybe, and that's why they were trying to discover more? Because cults don't really like questions and stuff, huh? The USG Ashimura. From a CEC-sponsored article in the publication Amazing Universe. As many of our older readers may recall, resource management on Earth and on the colonies was not always as streamlined as it is today. There was a time when needs could barely be met by the now extinct resources of Earth and the dwindling supplies of the colonies. That's good to know. I mean, we're learning more, like, backstory, like what they're called, these logs, huh? I didn't really, I mean, I probably learned at some point, huh? But if, like, what was going on Earth, so looking to the stars for additional resources is nothing new. But at the time, only smaller ships were shock point able, and they were insufficient at keeping up with demand. Enter the Ishimura. The USG Ishimura, named after astrophysicist Hideki Ishimura, inventor of the shock-point drive, was the first of the massive planet cracker ships. Built 62 years ago, she has a long and storied career. The Ishimura was the first vessel of her size to utilize the shock-point drive for large-scale commercial deep space expeditions. At the time of her inception, the Ishimura was hailed as the savior of the Earth. She was created to mine and melt down entire small planets and moons. She was also the first ship capable of the scan and catch technique for harvesting mineral-rich asteroids. Using huge gravity tethers, the Ishimura can lock onto asteroids and pull them inside the ship's massive collection bays for smelting. I mean, that's cool and all, by the way, but, I forgot to mention, during the beginning cutscene, I hadn't realized it, I guess, at the time. I guess at the time I kind of sided with Kendra, because she was talking back to Hammond's calls in the beginning cutscene, but then, now knowing what I know, I'm like, Kendra, shut up and let Hammond do his job. She clearly wanted us to crash, knowing she somehow would be the only survivor or something, and then she could get her job done or something. I don't know what she was gonna do, but she was doing bad, and she's horrible, and should feel bad. Anyway, at 62 years old, the Ishimura is still in remarkable shape. Much of the equipment has been upgraded over the years. Many spaces have been retrofitted to take advantage of modern advances in technology. Despite the long years of service, she is still the pride of the fleet and remains the largest planet cracker in the fleet. Whenever an important deep space mining project comes up and the Ishimura is available, she's the first ship to be called. It's ships like the Ishimura and the dedication of the men and women who crew her that have helped make Concordance Extraction Company the trusted, dependable workhorse that it is today. Alright, that felt pretty, like, advertisement-y. Like, wow, a ship's great. Definitely not unethical that we're destroying entire planets that maybe had life or something on them, who knows. It's great. Background request. To Zach Hammond. Is his name Zach? I'm sorry, Hammond. I don't know why I just thought your first name was Hammond. Is that, I don't know if that's a first name, actually. Sorry, bud. Zach. Zach. It just doesn't feel like you're a Zach. But you're a Zach. Okay. Okay, that's alright. So to Zach Hammond from somebody. For a background request. Okay, per your request, here's what we could find on your hastily assembled crew. Oh, okay, she was doing background. That's smart of him. I don't blame him there. Isaac Clarke. Isaac was born to Paul? Paul? Is that Paul? And it's just... No, because A looks different. So Paul? Paul? I've never seen this name before, and I apologize. Paul and Octavia Clarke. On Earth in the eastern seaboard region of the American Republic. Powell Clarke? Is that I've never read that before. Powell? I guess Powell. Is that how you spell Powell's a name, right? I don't know. Was an award-winning ship architect employed by the Galactic Union Marine Corps. His record shows extended time off-world away from his family. When Isaac was born, Powell was given a temporary reassignment to an Earth-based GUMMC ship production facility. During the 4-year tour, Powell and Octavia raised Isaac together. When the tour was over, Powell shipped off for an extended off-world tour. Okay, so his father was there for like 4 years and then went off. Powell's influence on his son must have rubbed off. Records indicate Isaac pursued studies in mechanical and electrical engineering and achieved high honors. For the 4 years he was there during his childhood rubbed off? Okay. According to medical and psychiatric reports, Powell Clarke's absence had a profound effect on Octavia. She suffered from depression and personal anguish until doctors encouraged her to find fulfillment by working with charitable organizations. It is believed that this is how she ended up coming in contact with the Church of Unitology. Uh-oh. Her association with the church appears to have alleviated her mental condition. The cancellation of her therapy sessions corresponds with the local parish announcements of her initiation ceremony. At this point, records on her become somewhat scarce. There are indications that she sold off much of the family estate to finance her full membership in the church. So, Bud, it looks like you've got something in common with the Binding of Isaac, huh? kind of religious horribleness from your mother. Well, I guess there's no record of horribleness yet, but I assume if you'd sell off your stuff and give it to church, bad. It's my philosophy, I guess, especially if it's like a cult. Isaac appears to have been selected to a prominent engineering school, but we surmise that he was unable to afford the tuition, as records show that he instead attended a lesser-known school with the help of scholarships and financial assistance. Oh, you poor bud. That sucks, because she could have helped fund that, I'm imagining. After graduating with high honors, Isaac enlisted in the Merchant Marines. He quickly gained a reputation for his resourceful engineering solutions, and after 2 years was promoted to a higher profile position close to the major shipping lanes. Good job, bud. Good job, you genius. There are several inquiries about the location of his father that have been logged by his contacts at the GUMMC. Isaac appears to have been trying to reunite with his Isaac appears to have been trying to reunite with him unsuccessfully for years. It is doubtful if he ever got far in his investigation, as Powell Clark's service record has been mysteriously classified by an executive order. Okay, you poor bud. I mean, why would you... I don't mean to be a jerk about this. I don't know people's motivations as to this, but like, if he was there for 4 years of your lifetime and then left screwing off, and like didn't supply you any financial help or anything, like, why would you want to get in contact with him? I guess maybe to just be like, screw you, Dad, I'm fine on my own, or something, or like, hey, Mom is in a horrible cult, can you maybe talk some sense into her or something, or just say, hey, step in, maybe. She's very torn up about losing you, but it's fine. Octavia continues to be a contributing member of her church, and has managed to purchase a vested level title. This is interesting, though, because, now we know Isaac has deeper connections to the marker than we thought. Isaac's career stagnates at this point. There are records that he cohabited with a medical officer named Nicole Brennan for a couple of years. Records indicate she moved out after receiving her promotion and is currently serving on the USG Ishimura. Okay, yeah, okay. So, okay, that... Yeah, sorry, Isaac. Kendra... Oh, this is where it ends. Kendra Daniels. I couldn't find anything on her in the time I had, but Darlton swears by her. She is on the mission with his recommendation. If he thinks she has the necessary skills, who am I to argue? I'm imagining this is Hammond talking here. Even though, well, I guess it's from somebody else to Hammond, so... Suspicious. Suspicious. Obviously, now we know why. I love how there's no info at all about the other people with this, like the 2 others that die immediately. Whatever. Planetary mining. No, don't need background checks on them. Excerpt from the CEC shareholder information packet on planetary mining. Planet cracking. Planetary mining is, quite literally, the dismantling of planets and moons on a macro scale. Entire worlds are fractured to reveal the rich seams of valuable minerals contained inside. Despite environmentalist concerns, the operation is perfectly safe and is the only way to extract the necessary resources on the large scale required to supply Earth and the colonies. So Earth is still there, we're just taking a bunch of stuff from other places. You may have read reports that claim the destruction of a planet can destroy an entire solar system due to the disruption in the gravitational forces that hold each celestial object in orbit. Some of the wilder reports claim this causes the whole system to spin out of control or causes planets to smash into each other. Concerned investors are directed to read the article, The CEC Pledge to the Health of Our Universe, for a detailed breakdown of the truths about planet cracking. The short answer is, planet cracking is perfectly safe and provides an essential service to Earth and the colonies. With all planet cracks, the planets are carefully chosen for their mineral content, net worth, and the safety with which they can be dismantled. Yeah, a bunch of garbage I feel like they're feeding us. I don't think it's safe at all. And it's very well written in that it gives me that impression. Planet cracking is a lengthy process spanning from 3 to 5 years. Generally, the first year is spent prospecting and setting up the colony. The second year and a half involves tectonic excavation and related planetside activities. The Planet Cracker class ship arrives between the 2.5 and 3 year mark, depending on the progress of the excavation. Once the ship is in orbit, preparation for tectonic chunk extraction begins. This takes approximately 1 week. The removal of an excavated chunk from the planet into a stabilized geosynchronous orbit takes about 1 day, 24 standard hours. During this process, billions of tons of debris break off from the underside of the chunk, creating an instant asteroid ring around the planet, which is what we saw when we flew in here. While the floating debris is extremely dangerous, the Planet Cracker ships have an excellent asteroid defense system, ADS, to keep the ship and crew safe from harm. Oh, and that's what I, took over and shot out from that one time. Cute. I appreciate that they say, 24 standard hours or whatever. I've never understood, like, space stuff where it's like, oh yeah, if you're on another planet, time technically passes different, so you can leave and then be younger than everybody else when you're back. I don't get it. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I don't get it. It's hard to wrap the brain around that. Depending on the size of the planet, this process is repeated until the entire planet has been broken up and processed. About us, the CEC is the largest solar mining and extraction company in the Earth colonies. It is also the 5th largest company in terms of market capital. It has become a powerhouse of industrial might and an influential political force. With a generous budget allocated to election spending, CEC has always been able to maintain and improve its market position. Which says to me just a bunch of corruption, huh? The CEC owns over 400 deep space vehicles, including 5 planet crackers with the famous USG Ishimura as its flagship. The CEC was the first to develop deep space mining, asteroid catchers, and was the first to implement shock point drives for commercial use. We are the largest supplier of precious metals. Out of over 3 dozen planet cracks, only 1 operation has met with less than optimal results. Which means probably everybody died. Many may remember the Wanat disaster 11 years ago, where in a planet cracker, 3 supplies of ships and a colony were lost due to a gravity tether failure. Since that time, CEC has worked closely with the manufacturers and held crew training lectures to ensure a disaster of this magnitude never happens again. Okay. We take your financial well-being and the well-being of our employees seriously. When you invest in CEC, you are investing in the future of mankind. Yeah, it's a bunch of, like, company garbage. Just a line of trash. It's so, like, well written, though, in that you just hate them. And it feels so, like, real, though. You feel like, yeah, the company said this. That's how they sweep it under the rug. They're like, we're totally training stuff. And don't worry about your money, by the way, also. Recombination study. Covered file, personal log, Dr. G. Abernathy, automated transcript, restricted access, maximum encryption. Day 3 of quarantine for the former doctors Clifton and Hogan. The infection is spreading quickly through Dr. Clifton. Dr. Hogan appears unaffected at this time. The chest of the corpse has started to expand, like it's taking a deep breath. Something appears to be happening under the surface of the skin. The body is convulsing. A yellowish, briny liquid bursts from the mouth, accompanied by choking noises. There's a crunching noise as the throat bulges and the jaw collapses. The head is splitting apart, reforming now into what appears to be a proboscis and feelers. The chest splits along the center, now as the flesh stretches and expands outwards. The organs, bone, and muscle bend inwards. The internal organs contort and reorganize themselves into an odd structure, central to which is a massive bladder. The bladder is filling with a liquid, some of which can be seen spilling from the proboscis. Proboscis. Is there a difference between a proboscis and a proboscis? What did it say before? Proboscis. I don't know the difference. Is that a different word, or am I just saying it 2 different ways? I just assumed it was like a weird tentacly thing, and I think that's what it is. I can only assume the 2 are connected. The legs are quivering as the flesh peels away and meshes with the flesh from the chest region. There is a sudden snap halfway through the process as one leg bends backwards. More quivering now, and the other leg is snapped at the knee. The changes appear to be slowing now. It starts to sit up. The body is convulsing, the legs flopping. It is trying to take its first step. Uneasy at first, but now it is adapting quickly. A half-dozen steps and it seems to be perfectly at home with the new contorted form. The spattering on the glass is making observation difficult. It appears that Dr. Hogan's legs are elongating, somehow flaying themselves and now twisting with a mixture of his own internal organs into a single appendage, like some sort of tail. His face is contorted, his jaw clenching and unclenching. Several jaw-like appendages are emerging from his ever-widening mouth. Every widening mouth, that's a typo. His mouth no longer appears to be able to accommodate the change. His head is splitting, seams bursting. And almost instantly, he is perched on his hands, shifting his weight from one palm to the other. He's pacing, circling the room, and he appears to be watching me. He sees me. No, he's fixated on the ceiling now. Oh God, no, he's leaping at the vent. With his powerful tail-like appendage, he's striking at the reinforced covering, trying to get it open. I must warn the others. Recording ends. Oh God, that's creepy. I liked it, though. That was nice. That could have been a good flavor text for the middle of the game. That was freaky. I liked it. I specifically like the part about, like, the reinforced vent. Specifically how there's, like, I guess none anymore, or maybe that it's just the regular vent. And he was freaking out. Anyway, last one, the red marker. This'll explain, I guess, the color thing. Recovered file fragments from Dr. Ando Ducage to General Ambrose Kaiden. Restricted access, maximum encryption. Altman's hasty expulsion from the project is unfortunate. His notes on the black marker appear incomplete, and our findings thus far have been inconclusive. What notes we have recovered appear to be written in a code of his devising. It will be weeks before he can decipher them. In the meantime, someone has to shut him up. His public outcry about the marker is more than a nuisance. This is a matter of security. Funding has been insufficient. Moving the research to Aegis 7 is only aggravating the problem. I understand the pressure to relocate the project outside the reach of the oversight committees, but this has only inflated our resource requirements. We're on the verge of cracking the replication code we extracted from the black marker. It would be a shame to come this far and have to scrap the project. Replication code? The continued financial infusion over the years has been appreciated, and I'm pleased to share the results with you today. While some of our material fabrications are approximations of substances foreign to us, we have completed the internal workings of the device. One obvious difference between our replica and the original is the reddish hue. I assure you this is purely a cosmetic difference, not indicative of a flaw. Sorry. What? So, from what I'm understanding, the red one is a duplicate, and it's not even, like, the original marker? But then, according to what I read before, like, there was, like, people didn't seem to understand what the black marker was doing, not even Altman. But then I guess that's just what he said, I don't know. So that implies it wasn't turning people into flesh monsters yet. So maybe there is some sort of dormancy system, or maybe the red marker is the one that screwed up or something, and that's why it's turning people into flesh beasts. The device, when activated, began to emit a highly complicated rhythmic pattern across a wide band of frequencies, from actual sound waves to the electromagnetic spectrum to alpha, delta, and theta brainwaves. It seems mostly inert and harmless aside from some slight interference with communication equipment. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Messing with our brains or whatever. No, it's cool. We are proceeding with the final construction. We've run into a disturbing but fascinating find. In recreating the DNA instructions gleaned from the black marker, we've managed to create a recombinant microbial life form. It seemed dormant at first, even when placed in a bath of rich nutrients. Were it not for Dr. Clifton's poor hygiene, we might have deemed the attempt a failure. Fortunately for us, he had not fully decontaminated himself before working with the sample, and managed to contaminate it with some dead skin cells. Suddenly, the microbes jumped into action. Recombination happened almost instantly, and the sample began self-replicating and mutating before our eyes. More confounding results from our research. Today, as we moved what we're now calling the red marker, we had to pass by the cellular lab area. The scientists working at the time complained about interruptions in the necrotic flesh experiments. Just dead flesh. where they're experimenting on dead flesh. As it turns out, the field generated by the marker creates a dead space around itself that forces the recombination effect into dormancy. Sorry, I've flubbed the end of that sentence. That's the name of the game. Hammond, that's the name of the game. It came into play. We got it. That's why it's dead space. What was it though? It turns out the field generated by the marker creates a dead space around itself that forces the recombination effect into dormancy. I'm confused by this, sorry. So the scientists were interrupted. The field generated by the marker forces recombination effect into dormancy. Doesn't that mean it stops things from mutating, I guess? I apologize for the setback relayed in the last report. The macro-scale infection has been contained with a minimal loss of life. The newly recombinated doctors are now quarantined for further study. Yeah, that's what we read about in the last one. Many of the scientists have been complaining of headaches, and we are all having difficulty sleeping for more than an hour at a time. We suspect a problem in the ventilation system. The maintenance team reported finding a buildup of some kind blocking the airways. The organic mass continues to expand and take over the complex. The recombinated nightmares now move freely through the corridors. My remaining crew is hastily constructing a transmitter for the marker in an attempt to broaden the signal it is emanating. Okay, so that, yes, a transmitter for the marker in an attempt to broaden the signal, is it? I'm confused then. Is the marker what's instigating the flesh horribles, or is it what's stopping it? Dr. Foster said the idea came to him in a vision. Our hope is to use the signal to keep the unchecked infection from spreading to the landing area. There's little time remaining. You must send help as quickly as possible. Our lives are in your hands. Okay. I gotta go back up and read, just... Cause it didn't say, seemed dormant at first, see if it weren't enough for days. To recombination. Huh. I'm confused. I guess the marker initiates this process of, like, flesh mutating and stuff, but then, like, in an area around it, it doesn't? If I'm understanding correctly. Doesn't matter. 'Cause that's it. Right? We got to the end of those. And that was interesting! Background knowledge! I gotta say for sure now, I think we're probably gonna just jump right into Dead Space too. I like the, lore bits. I sort of, especially that one about the guy transforming into another guy, that would have been scary to read partway through the game. I think that's one thing that's always kind of nice in a horror game. I know some people, you know, don't tend to like stopping and reading stuff and maybe skip it or whatever, but, like, I always love it, because it does, like, enhance the scariness to read something that's, like, particularly disturbing, like an account of a frigging doctor becoming flesh monster. I mean, that's just cool. It's great, you know, flavor. It really, enhances the rest of the experience, I gotta say. I do think, like, written horror is effective in intensifying the rest of the horror that's going on. It's very cool. And, yeah, whoops, sorry. I meant to go back and look. I liked... Oh, I still have... There's always ping. Oh, I forgot that I have all my stuff still. That's what the loading thing did. Anyway, yeah, we read all of the backstory, and that was cool. I liked it. And, I don't want it to end, but, well, yeah, Dead Space 2. We're gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun. And, I suppose that's it. That was Dead Space.